Hello, how are you? I really wanted to come and create a video for you because we're in such a crazy time at the moment, and I think it's a real opportunity for us to really think about what we need to change in our business. We're coming towards the end of the year. It's kind of the last working week before Christmas. I suppose I'm asking you, are you winding down, or do you feel like you still have a lot to do? The world is uncertain out there. There is certainly a huge amount of change, but that's actually what we all can be doing, is kind of taking control of how we're going to go into 2022, which is why I felt compelled to create this video today. So I really encourage you to take 10 minutes out of your day today to think about you and your business before we end the year. We all have the power to take control of what we want to change in ourselves and our approach to business, regardless of what else is happening in the world. So get a pen and paper, and I've got a few questions for you to really think about, as a lot of things are changing. And as we go into every new year, things change. I think we always think about what our New Year's resolutions are going to be, what goals we want to achieve. It's certainly a time of reflection. So I think it's a massive opportunity to be doing this before we break up for any time off we might be having, because it really starts to kind of clear your head, allow you to enjoy yourself and take some time out, and then really hit the ground running as we go into January. So first of all, start by looking back at 2021. I'm feeling really reflective at the moment, and certainly doing this myself. And I'm really thinking about what were my biggest achievements. So I encourage you to do the same. This is in your business, but also in your personal life as well. And I suppose your approach to work and the way you kind of run your business, or the way you are in your role. I always think a really interesting thing to think about is these big achievements, were they planned? So if you are somebody that looks at things on an annual basis, I certainly do it quarterly. I like to do it in kind of much shorter chunks, and then also monthly as well. But if you're looking at things that, as we all naturally do, is reflect on a year, were those big achievements, were they planned or weren't they? I think this is always a really interesting question to ask yourself. Write these out, celebrate your successes. I think more than ever, we need to be celebrating our successes. And more often than not, we forget to do this. So write them down, put them somewhere visible, and celebrate them on a daily basis. Also, when you are looking back at last year, what did you learn? And personally, I find this, I suppose, one of my biggest achievements. And I think running my own business as well, I feel like I learn more in a week than perhaps I do in 3 or 6 months, having worked in the corporate world before. It feels like everything is super fast paced, and you have to adapt more quickly. But as a result, you are certainly learning a lot more, which is what I love. Another question that I've got for you today is really to think about, were there any stories that you told yourself last year? Was there anything that you thought you couldn't do? Is there anything that you thought you weren't ready to do? Or was there anything you were waiting on because you were waiting to see what would happen with COVID? I think we could all agree, nobody could predict what was happening, what is happening, or what the future holds. And as a result, it is not a time to stand still. And another challenging question I've got for you today is, what if I said to you, that thing that you're putting off, what is it? What do you know you should be doing, but you haven't got round to? Because actually, what if that is a thing that you really, really want to achieve, and you know deep down will have a pivotal impact in your business? So that's kind of a few questions to get you going on that moment of reflection. Maybe pause this video and kind of go a bit deeper into those ones, or just quickly write the first things down that come into your head. I think whatever comes up straight away is often kind of that instinctual thing that we haven't had enough time to think about it. So actually that's what you're really, really thinking. So either write things down quickly, or take some time to dwell on those a bit more. So moving into 2022, what are your goals? Have you created them for next year already? Do you have a vague plan? Do you have something really robust already? Or are you going to be waiting to the new year? What I can tell you, it's not the time to wait till the new year. You want to get those things clear in your head. It doesn't necessarily have to be in a lot of detail, but really, what are those overarching goals, those strategies in your business and personally that you want to be achieving? And again, I think this is really important as we are in another period of uncertainty, because I certainly saw, and I talked to a lot of businesses day in, day out, and there was a lot of businesses that sat still and they hunkered down in 2020 when we first heard about the pandemic. They then spent 2021 pedaling very quickly to catch up. But we also see a lot of businesses that really exploded this year, which is super exciting. A lot of big retailers kind of just popped up and went, hey, this is where we are, this is what we're doing, and we've kind of created something new. And I think that's been really exciting because they were busy beavering away in 2020. They didn't put the brakes on, they just worked faster, they worked harder, they worked leaner, they did what they had to do to pivot. And I certainly did the same. I absolutely have to. I was forced into a position where I was very reliant on large corporate clients. All of this stopped, as you'd imagine, but I pivoted. I reassessed my business. I invested in myself, what I needed to learn in personal coaching, in business coaching, in a lot of personal development. I invested a huge amount to be able to recreate my business into a digital format, to be able to reach more people, to be able to help more people. Believe it or not, 2 years ago, I had never put a video online, and here I am just doing it. I just felt compelled to put this video out there today because I know that there's so many businesses that have the huge opportunity in the year ahead, and I want to help as many people as possible. So anyway, enough about me, but a few more questions to get you thinking about next year. So what are your goals? Do you have a strategy in place? But ultimately, what are those kind of big goals that are going to give you a massive shift in your business? And this isn't about writing a long list of them. This is thinking about a couple of things that are really, really going to make a monumental change in your business. That might be reaching more people, that might be more sales, that might be converting more customers. Maybe you have a lot of those, but they're not converting enough. Is this your reach? Is this your engagement? But ultimately, it's going to be about growth. It's going to be about sales, and it's going to be about profit. Because ultimately, that is the bottom line. If you don't have sales and if you don't even have profit is the big one, you do not have a business. So how are you going to continue to accelerate that? You need to make sure you're gaining more market share, you're growing your business, you're growing those sales, and you're on a growth trajectory. A bit of a mouthful, that word for me, or so you're not in decline. So really think about how you're going to increase that sales, how you're going to increase that market penetration, whatever type of business that you have. And to achieve those big goals, I really want you to think about, what do you need to learn? What is it you think that's missing, that's stopping you from getting to those goals? And also think about what support you need. So what do you need to learn? Is there any support you need from people in your network or potentially from experts? And also think about what behaviours you need to change personally. So how do you need to approach things differently? How do you need to adjust your mindset? How do you need to grow next year as well? Asking yourself these questions can be quite powerful, certainly for really thinking about where you want to go, and it sometimes can bring up some hesitations as well. So is there anything that you're still hesitating about? Because again, you need to address these. Absolutely think about what they are. I want you to encourage you to think about the bigger picture. And again, this is something that I always work with clients with. When they come to me, they're stuck in the day-to-day running of their business. They're usually working on kind of one brand, whether they're kind of a leader of a corporate brand or retailer, or potentially they're a founder of a business or an independent brand. I've worked with clients of all shapes and sizes, and the key consistency is how do they zoom out? How do they look at the bigger picture when they're stuck in that day-to-day running of the business? Building a brand is not linear, and it takes time to review a strategy. So what's really important is to think about how much time you're spending on that strategy, and how much time do you need to allocate to develop it further. So it's really that strategy development versus the doing, and it's making sure you're carving time out in your year next year, your month, your week, and how you're moving that forward. So please, I encourage you, if you're still watching this, you're definitely taking the time out to reflect on this. So even if it's 10 minutes after this video, rewatch it, pause it, answer those questions, and kind of really try and thrash out what those 3 things are that you want to achieve next year. Make them big, make them scary, make them feel unachievable, because if they're not, then is that really going to have a big shift in where you are now? Because it's all about how you're going to kind of make big changes. And then really think about what needs to change in the way you work and your approach to business to ensure that these 3 things happen. So write down those list of 3 things that you want to achieve next year. Remember, big, scary, they should make you feel like that. And then also really think about what needs to change in the way you approach your business as well. If you've got a bit more time, make them smart goals. If you don't know what they are, Google them. They're very, make things very clear and easy to make very robust goals. And I'd love to know, please reply to me, message me, put the comments below this. Please let me know what your goals are. I would absolutely love to hear, because you can do something this side of Christmas just to get you a little bit closer to what one of those goals are as well. So I'd love to hear what that is. So I hope this has inspired you today. I think we're all looking for a bit of inspiration at the moment. And if you are looking to kickstart your 2022, I do have a few spaces left for discovery calls this week. It's been amazing how many people are thinking about their business for next year already in December. So please book a call. Let's have a chat. Head to the link. It's very easy to find, very easy to book a call. We can have a chat and see whether I can help you with your goals next year. And lastly, imagine going into having some time off over this holiday period with a clearer head and knowing what you're going to be focusing on and starting to get excited about it as well to make some significant shifts in your growth next year. So really you can be shining. Anyway, I'd love to hear what your plans are for next year, whether you book a call or whether you just kind of message me and put something in the comments. So please do let me know. I love to hear from you. Thank you. Bye. Oh, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year and all of that.